All right. Good. Oh, excuse me. Get a stretch. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Now then, there's some important information I needed to discuss with you all about, and to let you know, as far as the frequency generator is concerned, I can confirm that the frequency generator definitely works. Problem is, though, and I have to warn all of you about this. As well as you're trying to suppress their technology, you probably have already figured this one out even before you even try this, that they would most likely up the levels of this tech. I'm not joking. They will do that. That's what they tried doing to me yesterday and last night. Um, Luckily, I was still able to get some sleep, but it wasn't easy. Um, Now then, you may have already figured this out. All you got to do is just basically type in the numbers to figure out certain frequencies on different ones. I would not recommend going to one that was recently, you know, going to a frequency that was, damn, gotta wake up. Mm. That was recently created. It's best to go for the ones that have been there for a while, ones from trusted sources and whatnot. Now then, the frequency to deal with parasites is 1150 hertz. That's the frequency I used earlier the other day. That was for that. The one for raising your vibrations. Boy, I can't recall which one that was. I used at least three different types of frequencies. One that kills off parasites, and the other one that also raises your spiritual vibrations, and the other one that blocks out um negative impulses or thought or something like that. This, or maybe just negative energy. One that blocks negative energy. Because just allow the negative energy to suppress in order for the positivity energy you know, to actually be able to, basically uh, elevate a bit more. So then when I was to turn it off, basically it would be balanced. You'll start to see the differences when you start to mess around with this a bit. Um, I can definitely tell you they are definitely not happy with me doing this at all. Um, but that's not exactly what I wanted to discuss here. Fellow individuals who are targeted, I wanted to give you a complete um, analysis on everything that has to deal with this targeting, for based off my own experience and the stuff that I've seen coming from other people's experience. You may have seen some of the videos that I posted on some of the stuff, but let me tell you something. If at all possible, it's best to just never react to these perpetrators. Everything that they do, from the subliminal messaging to the color harassment, to the verbal harassment, to the gaslighting, to a lot of a lot of the subliminal, all of the subliminal messaging stuff that they have done, that they do, by the way. Um, every bit of this is all an attempt for getting responses. These responses that they're getting out of you, which is why it's very important for you not to respond to these people. And some of these, you most likely have already figured out, some of them absolutely have no idea what's really going on. They have absolutely, they have no idea what's going on. There's no way they could. They just think, someone's just hiring you to basically F with somebody. They would never imagine that they're trying to get responses out of a person for RDM data, for basically remote manipulation data, to turn, basically convert it into AI and then to upload it to you. This is why they basically drug us. They do that to try to turn us into devices. This I've already went over as an example for what this nanotech does. Basically, the biofilm basically creates a complete circuit board on the outside of the skin. This the nano basically gets into your nerves where those electrical currents are at, and it uses that in order to power itself. So it's already got electricity, and it's basically utilizing that to do what it's doing. Um, as far as anything is concerned, other than that, again, nobody like would even suspect any of that's going on. You see, that's the whole point. But this is why it's imperative never to respond to these perpetrators, especially from what I've realized. You gotta understand, they lace these people with this stuff as well. They go out on the people around you and lace them with it, so they can basically turn that into different prospects of this. They can attack those people just as well as they attack you with these weapons. Okay, I have witnessed this. First time I've seen it, and in fact, I've seen it happen twice. The first time I've seen them attacking somebody entirely different, not me, was a female, and they had her on the bus, and she was she was in a blue shirt. You know, they were attacking the crap out of her on that bus, man. And the only thing I did was just shout out the name of my channel to her. That was about it. Not directly to her, but I just said it loud enough for her to hear it. Just being very spontaneous, and just so they know this is why I made the channel so damn obvious. MM's TI strategy guide. That obvious. I did that out of hopes that other people who would actually know what's going on, they would they would actually understand that, and actually be able to find these methods that I have found to protect myself, so they'd be able to protect themselves as well. But it is imperative that you have very, very little to no responses with these individuals at all, man. That's very important. Um, as far as the way this stuff is structured, the way I see it, think about it. Really think about it. All these perpetrators who have and something, it's good that they do some of these ones like actually tell the truth of what's going on, saying yeah, it is an operation to do this, it is this, that, and that, right? It is good that we have some of them come forward to say that, but it makes you wonder. Think about it. They are in control of Google, and haven't we? Look at what we've been seeing of late, as in regards to people basically, basically trying to warn the masses of what's going on. We have seen massive censorships, massive videos being taken down, massive videos being, channels being immediately deleted. The way I see it, man, as long, I'm not putting my all onto this social media crap. I just want to be able to help people out, and that's it. You know, I found other, and that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop helping people. No, absolutely not. Um, the whole point is to basically, is the effort. That's where it lies in. Don't ever give up. Don't let them steal your voice. Don't let them take that. No. When you get out there, when you create a channel to basically create content to be, want to help people, that's you wanted to basically do some good, you know? But I'm telling you, for your own safety, do not respond to these perpetrators at all. Don't. In some circumstances, it's to a point to where you got no choice to respond to some of them. This can involve like a shop clerk, when you're basically making a purchase of something. This can involve other things as well. As far as well, as far as either going to various locations where you would have to do certain types of business where you have to talk. If it's a situation where you do not have to say anything, and you just have to make a purchase, you don't even have to say anything. You don't even have to respond. Again, they are constantly watching you, trying to get many different responses, recording these responses, and trying to basically convert it into AI to basically upload it. And guess what that does? That's a program, that's a false sense of self that tries to play as you even though it's not you. It's quite dangerous too. They've used this on me once before, trying to basically put me in an aggressive state. I didn't, it didn't work. And I'm telling you, I pissed off a lot of people just because it didn't work. Basically, what they did, I was in the store. This happened a long time ago, but I will never forget it. They elevated my aggressive levels. I don't know how they did it, but they did. And it's like they were trying to, like push a desire of violence. And I started to see how the setup that they were gotten that was going on, right? They paid these people off nearby to basically start talking all kinds of crap like the verbal harassment, right? And then they would hit me with this weapon with the AI technology trying to force a violent act. I showed that damn lady what was going on. She didn't even know what the hell it was, right? She even asked, she just sitting there looking stupid with a smirk on her face, not knowing what the hell was going on. This is how blind people are, man. This stuff is no joke. People have died as a result from this. There have been massive shootouts because of this. There have been massive suicides because of this. There has been multiple instances of many different occurrences that have involved, conflict because of this mess that's going on. I refuse to be a pawn in this bullshit to them. I refuse. I refuse to be some amusement from some rich jackass in their in their satanic bullshit ideals. I refuse. I refuse. I would love to go have a family, but I refuse because, well, they would attack my unborn child. Even before he or she is out of the womb. I won't even get to know whether it's a female or a boy yet because they would attack my child if I was to go out there. This is one of the main reasons why I do not want to have a family. Because I would give myself to basically protect them. My own life to protect them. And that's why it's best to not even, establish that. I don't mind finding a woman, but bringing a new life into this world, that's out of the question for me. The other instance of where this tech was basically trying to, where they desperately tried to, cause the situation. And I did bring this up, but again, the only reason why I'm mentioning this is because I want to just bring all these occurrences in one video. This was when I was hauling the lumber that I was going to use to build my pontoon raft when I was planning on going to the Gulf of Mexico. They had a guy mess around with his phone in a parking lot in front of this restaurant. People, that restaurant has cameras in front of the damn, facing the parking lot. Okay? I knew this because I used to go there to eat. I'm not an idiot. And they thought that I must have forgotten about that. No, I didn't. I still knew what it was, even before I got up there. So what happens as a result? Oh, this is exactly what happens. The dude just sitting, just standing there, fumbling around with his phone. At that exact moment, I got a huge attack from these weapons, trying to force me to attack that guy so they can have it on camera and then have that excuse saying, look what he's doing, look what he's doing. He's attacking this man, he's assaulting him. I knew exactly what this was. The people responsible are nowhere around. They got people watching. Oh hell yeah, they got people watching. But the actual people doing this shit, they're nowhere near around the area, and I'm not stupid. I got the hell away from that guy as much as I could, man. The McDonald's incident, yet another prime example. That's proof that they use kids. They use kids involved in targeting when it comes to a lot of people, man. They use them, okay? It's mind-boggling how far corrupted the system goes. They desperately try to program you as much as they can. And you have to fight this Every day is a constant struggle. Every day, people are fighting as hard as they can. It is not easy to do this, and it makes matters worse when we have ignorant people out there who don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, it makes matters worse because then it hurts the understanding of what we're all trying to basically get people to know. The more awareness of what's really going on, the better. But we also got to make sure that we don't categorize everything in one spot, that we also keep everything separated in their own individual space, so we all know exactly what is what. And people don't get the wrong idea thinking that, well, these gang stalkers who run around are the actual ones that are actually doing the hitting you with the stuff. No, 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 no. I don't doubt, considering the handheld devices, I don't doubt that some of these agents may be doing that, but you need to understand exactly how precisely how I saw what this was happening, because I witnessed this, and I will never forget this either. They sent the dude in to go hire multiple other guys to basically harass. That's why you saw that security guard acting that way. There was a completely different dude who went in there. He went in there and he stayed in there too. You may have seen me pan the camera around. If you saw the guy in the white shirt, the dude who showed up to hire them to do that, paid them cash to do that kind of crap. That guy was wearing a white shirt. I can't recall the color pants he was wearing, but he was definitely wearing a white shirt. Walked up right to the counter saying, "Hey, I'll pay you such and such amounts of money to do this, this, and this." People, they do this crap in layers. Okay? The real assholes who are responsible for this, the private contractors, they don't want their faces seen. Ever. They do not want you seeing their face. Ever. They don't want you getting none of their plates. They don't want you getting, any kind of description from them. Nothing. This is why they will never, ever, and you best believe, if, dude, the whole damn thing is it's a freaking mind game, right? I started talking about this before. Guess what they did? They sent a perpetrator. He's not an agent. He's a damn perpetrator hiding behind a tree, trying to distract me at the same time I was on my way out going to work a while back. Did I waste my time with that idiot? No, because I knew what it was. I wasn't going to waste my time filming some dumbass who they basically paid off to act out to get, as a distraction. I'm not falling for that. No, absolutely not. No. Mm-mm. Because I saw through all of it. I'm making progress on definitely deprogramming myself from this madness that's going on. The app does work, but again, I highly recommend people to just use a device that is not a phone, okay? There was a comment that was left on one of my last videos in regards to something about the phone settings. I don't know who that person is. There's no content on their channel. And no offense, but I don't trust any of that. Okay? I'm making this video to basically speak out about that. I'll leave the comment there, but I do not trust that, period. I don't. And there's for good reason why I say this. When I brought up a specific video talking about the whole C-19, and no, I'm not talking about the whole virus thing that they actually are freaking out about. No, this is something entirely different. C/19 was a bioweapon that was, insecticide, not insecticide, but an insect type bioweapon that was designed with a mixture of both fungus, nanobots, and insects. Synthetic based insects that had the ability to reproduce and also covertly infect hosts with this technology. If you are a targeted individual, and I don't mean like you're out of the grid, Off the grid? No, not like that. I'm talking about like if you're in the city and you've been seeing like all kinds of gnats, stuff like that, or even in your house, like, just flying around. That's C19. That's not a natural insect at all. No. There's been other fellow target individuals who I've discussed this, situation with as well, and they've from what they've told me, and dude, like that per se, um, judging from the testimonies that I've also read up on, this stuff basically has different forms. There's different types of insects that they use. One is, one's most likely a mosquito. The other one's like a fruit, a type of fruit fly or gnat or whatever. And one could be just be a common looking house fly. It has several different forms and several different metamorphoses to it. This is how this has been able to go on for so long. Let me tell you something else. I remember, because I was out and about when I was a child, playing out in the local neighborhoods with my friends. From time to time, I would pass by certain houses and I would just see these random swarms of these things, just of the those gnats, those fruit flies just swarming around someone's front yard. I could never make heads or tails like where the hell did this come from? Like they would just be sitting there. I look at the ones, and I tested this out. I look at the natural ones, and they always love being around sources of water. People, there were no sources of water near there ever. Where I've seen them, no, they would just commonly just right there swarming around in the middle of the yard. Any type of thing of moisture, any type of food, these those I remember these types of flies and stuff would go right for it, right? But get this, I use these traps and stuff for them, and they go, they basically go right for it, and they get trapped in it, and they can't get out of it. They die. The testimonies I got from the target individuals, they used what was it? They used bug zappers and fly traps. The actual, the fly tape, they used both. Dude, there were people telling me that this stuff actually got itself off the damn fly paper. It didn't even work for it. It just got off of it. Literally got itself unstuck every time. It wouldn't even work at all, right? And it would never go near the blue light. They would never do it. There's yet another video that I'm capturing because there was been also other testimonies of TIs talking about how they use dragonflies. I posted a video on, I think it was the Mischievous M channel. And if you watch that video, you will see something very unusual on that dragonfly. Like it looks like something that's in a box-like shape on its back. It's very odd, very odd. And it looks, if you read the patternization of its flight pattern, it looks as if it's trying to fight something. You know, it's like it's trying to, just fly away from them, but something's forcing it to fly back, and it's just constant. I have gotten several testimonies from other fellow TIs saying the exact same thing, that yes, they do experiments on insects for both illegal covertly surveillance and also covert drugging. This has been the case up even in my old apartment. I had those things flying around from time to time, and I knew exactly what it was. This is why I got the heck out of the city, because you see, and a lot of TIs don't know that. A lot of the other TIs don't know this, but they can actually send these, sounds that are basically in regards to programming you through the drains. Yeah, they'll do this to a house. They'll do this to an apartment, and you would not be non the wires unless someone told you. Yeah, so if anything, it's best to cap off all your drains, because if they're not doing that, then they're sending those insects straight through it. Um, but there are ways to get rid of these bastards, though. They do have electronic fly swatters. I do not recommend you to just use anything. It's best to fry the bastards when you can, if at all possible. Uh, let's see what else. We really need to start learning more about frequencies, honestly, because it seems like all of these attacks are all frequency based attacks, right? So I believe that if we start to start to really research this on more on our side, and maybe we'll be able to find ways to not only just suppress their the frequency that they're using to attack us, but also frequencies to basically use to try to figure out exactly what they're sending to trigger a certain command. For all I know, there may be even a frequency to get this nanotech to immediately eject itself out of our bodies. I'm not joking. That one may actually exist. There most likely probably is a frequency for that, but who knows what it is. It can even be, but you know something? Even with that said, there's no telling what exactly these frequencies do, which is why it's also just as dangerous. So the more information, the more valid information we get, the better. And I'm not talking about, information that just put out there to basically, pretty much be used for for basically self-sabotage or anything like that. Now I'm talking about actual valid information that will help. This is why we need people from the inside to basically come out. But let me tell you what I believe is going on right now, and hence why it's going to get so dangerous. We're in a predicament to where the huge power structure that was put out there to control the masses is starting to crumble. Why? Because they want to tear down the current system that's in play in order to bring something else in that they want. This involves, laws that have been changed for their own benefit and view. This involves many other things of which they want in play. That also involves, a new line of currency as well. That's not physical currency. It's all digital currency. Um, if you're supporting Bitcoin or anything like that, then you're basically giving that stuff business, a line of business. That's not a good thing to do. It isn't really. And that's why I don't mess around with no Bitcoin. That's why I don't mess around with no kind of type of cryptocurrency at all. I don't screw with it because I want nothing to do with it because I know exactly what it's there for. Some people sitting there trying to learn how to do that. Why do you think they're trying to basically, convert all of this crap into that? Why do you think they're trying to get more and more people into that? Really think outside the box on it. What happens if that has absolutely no business? No one's messing with it. No one's touching it, right? Now, it's fair to say that even if that happens, some people are going to try to rake as much of that stuff in as possible, right? But the thing is, if the whole thing has no business, it doesn't really have much value to it. The only way it has value is if it has business, if it has traffic. But I don't know, man. I don't know too much about that. I just know for a fact of exactly what they're trying to switch everything over to, and I just refuse to support any of it. That's just how I feel about it. Um, I can only imagine how bad it is for for fellow individuals out there in the cities. I can only imagine how bad it is. But if you've all experienced it for yourselves. If you've seen exactly how dangerous it's getting, then you know for a fact why I got the heck out of there when I did. Um, if it's only going to get worse in my opinion. I don't see, especially I mean with this whole thing going on with the Niles Melzer thing, and you got this torturism still going on. It's difficult because if we do have some people who are fighting for us, but they can't afford to really blow their cover, then you see how difficult that is. It's like covertness used against the enemy, but at the same time they can't even allow people to know their identity because, well, if we find out, then the enemy finds out, and that puts them at risk. I feel like we're kind of in a situation like that. You know, you got to remember, the collective group of Anonymous is still out there, but well, the government knows who they are, or at least the amount of members who that particular person had exposed. But, you know, that doesn't mean they couldn't pass on their expertise to people. However, I do believe that once they were known, they were heavily watched and heavily surveillanced. I would not be surprised at all. Like, at all, man. The the amount of corruption that exists is quite large, and it isn't just the people pulling the strings. You gotta view it a lot more than that. It's also the people below them, the people who are aware of what's going on, and the people who are just as power hungry as they are. So let's look at this at the whole picture for what it is. What happens if we manage to basically knock these elites off their pedestal, off their thrones? What then? We can't just view this that it's going to be immediate peace afterwards. I agree that this whole power structure does need to go. We do need to put the power back into the people's hands. That needs to happen. But dude, there's just so much corruption out there, and I don't even know how to analyze this stuff from heads to tails on this one. It's not easy, you know. It's not easy, and plus, just about damn near almost every politician is a damn pawn. I'm sorry to say that, everybody, but every single politician is a damn pawn. That includes even the seat of the president, the seat of the Senate, all of that. Every single bit of politicians, every single Senate, all of this stuff is all controlled. All of it is. If nobody else, I know it's hard to basically understand that, but that's just how it is. But it doesn't mean that even, these whole things that are controlled, it doesn't mean that they don't rebel against, they don't, or at least they don't have the ability to rebel against those who seek total control, that is a possible thing that happens. If you've seen Donald Trump's message not too long ago, he would tell you, well, he pissed off quite a lot of people. Nobody has absolutely no idea who these people are. He couldn't. I believe what he was trying to do is tell everybody exactly what this is. There are a group of elite people out there who are in control of just about damn near everything, who are the richest people on the planet. No one knows exactly who they are because the context is designed that way. Anybody who ever tried to give out the identity has most likely been assassinated. They're not going to allow themselves to be known. Ever. And anybody who is known, I don't believe that would be them. I don't believe that these groups of elites would ever show their face. I believe anybody who has ever shown their face on the media ever, it's just a damn pawn. That's it. They're just a pawn. Every single one of them. Some of them, and who knows, maybe one of them actually has shown their face. But dude, there's just so much deception out there. There is just so much deception out there. You wouldn't even know where to look on who it would be. You would never know. You would never know. The way I see it, they treat this whole thing as nothing more than a stage play. They write up a script. They hand it off to whoever works for them. That person hands that down to the other people who are in positions of power that causes these events to happen. It's so bad because there are people who have lost their lives out of out of selfish stuff like this. There has been, it truly has. It's people whose livelihoods have been completely destroyed because of it. I believe there's a deeper meaning as to why they target us the way that they do. I truly do. There's definitely a deeper meaning behind all of it. There's gotta be. And let me tell you something. I believe God is definitely watching over us all. Truly. I lost count of how many times the scenario that happened to where all these setups happened, but they all automatically just failed. Every single one of them. I lost track of how many times I've actually put the cops themselves on the hot seat and they did not like it at all. Were you able to basically twist the situation to where you're actually interrogating the police instead of the police interrogating you? It's tricky, but once you learn how to actually do that, they really won't want to fuck with you afterwards. They really won't. Not directly, at least. In the end, they'll probably just try to, you know, cause or create an excuse. Then they'll have something to basically go on, which is basically their playing card of what they tried with me, but it never worked because I knew exactly what it was. They wanted me to act aggressive. They wanted me to do something bad that would basically land me into trouble, and I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't stand for it. No, absolutely not. Mm-mm. I'm never gonna be afraid of death, but dude, when I leave this earth, man, I'm leaving this earth either of old age. It could be from a stupid setup of theirs. Who knows? But in the end, I'm leaving this world with no damn regrets. That's for damn certain. Because I know, no matter what, that this organization sought to program me for whatever reason, even if it was just a power structure to make money. I believe that a lot of us have something very unique about us that they basically are on the prowl out for. It's like maybe within our blood or maybe some type of characteristic that you know basically keeps us separated from the rest. And you know something, I'm actually damn glad about that particular trait. Not the targeting, but the fact that I didn't become like any of these programmed damn sheeple. I'm damn glad about that. I'm glad I have the ability to fight this crap because I would never want to be like that. Ever. These people who are programmed to just do anything. And it's as if they won't even have any type of consciousness of guilt or any consciousness of anything at all from it. None. What they're trying to do is transhumanization, cause humans to become more and more like machines, a soulless being, one without conscience, one without any type of morality of any kind of sort. No love, no honor. Hell, honor's gone out the window long since way, way long ago. Barely anybody can even claim they got any honor. You know, some of us still have it, even if it's not very much. But not with the way things have turned out, man. I've stopped listening to rap music simply because of what I figured out what they were doing. I couldn't help but analyze the lyrics for what it was, and me being, you know, no, very knowledgeable, of language arts and the meaning of words. I know for a fact when certain artists constantly use the word "you," it's like they're, dude. It's like even if they're not like cursing at you, even if they're not, trying to put you down, it's still like them putting themselves in a position to judge you. And I was very disgusted by that. I really was. I was truly disgusted by that. That's for me. That's just what turned me off of rap altogether. And despite that, there is some good rap music out there. There is, but these organizations will never, ever, ever put them out there. They never will. Um, as far as the N word is concerned, I'm just gonna say that for what it is, dude. For people who don't know, and I've talked about this so many times, but I'll do it again just for this situation here. Um, or just for it as an example for people who don't know. Um, that word basically was created to as a trigger of negativity. Okay, it was. Um, the whole thing is nothing more than a psyop. Even for people who don't know, it is. There are people who have been a part of other races using that word, and I have not seen a single any of the black individual, well, so-called black individuals get pissed off about it. To me, every person who has the same skin tone as me is brown skin. Okay, you could be dark brown, light brown. It's still brown. I have never seen a person who's black ever in my life, and that's just my belief. Um, the whole N-word thing is basically nothing more than a psyop for a trigger for negativity. You ever notice how it always tends to, and as it basically as a as to basically prove a point here, they try to say, well, like that means we're all blood, really, we're all family, this type of thing, right? Why not just use my brother from another mother or my sister from another mother? That was the term we used way back when. Whatever happened to that, right? Why not just use that? Why does it have to be something so close to a word that was used? And again, even this history's been fucked over with, right? It has. Why does it have to be so close to a word that has been used in the midst of so-called slavery or so-called all of this stuff? Why does it have to be that in particular? You want to know? You want to know why they use that in per se? Again, it's the same thing of why they're saying, if you research the meaning and abbreviation for the word black, the color black itself, you start to find out that the actual abbreviation, or should I say, the meaning of black means the absence of color, meaning there's no color there at all, none. I believe the abbreviation for white means is supposed to be for every color, if I'm not mistaken. So you see how that works. What do you think? So really, again, think about it. When they say Black Lives Matter, what do you think what they are actually saying? It's a trigger for no lives matter, basically. That's pretty much what the government's telling you straight to your face. There are people pushing for this who absolutely have no idea what the hell they are talking about or doing. Some of them think that they're doing a good thing, but they have been deceived. They have been programmed, or at least tricked by people who are programmed, and they don't know any better. You know, they have to really see. You have to really beat the truth into their head in order in order for them to get it. And I don't mean like going out and assaulting anybody. No, no, I'm not talking. I'm not saying that at all. I'm only just. It's just a play on words, basically, just a figure of speech. Um, but the whole damn thing is nothing more than a psyop and a huge program. If you start listening to some of these songs that they put out, they'll always have the same narrative, saying the exact same thing over and over and over. Chase the paper, chase the paper, chase the paper. And these elites are laughing their asses off while people are doing this. Okay, they are laughing. They are literally practically laughing at you. And I'm not talking about the people who are awake. I'm talking about the people who are asleep. They are laughing their asses off at you in regards to this because you continue to chase something that they know is worthless. Let me tell you something. That stuff gets made from that the dollar bill and all that stuff like that gets made from paper, which is coming from the trees, right? Trees are everywhere, dude. They are everywhere. But let me tell you what you're not going after. You're not going after the collateral. You're not going after the land. You're not going after not just land but also diamonds. You're not going after types of metal such as gold, platinum, uh, silver, stuff like that. You're not going after stuff like that that's actually physically worth something. You're not going after anything like that. Someone who is going stuff like that knows what they're doing. But I'm talking about to these individuals that basically just spend all their money on this name brand shit. These people who basically just go out just to spend all kinds of cash on stuff like that. The same stuff that they advertise in these videos. They advertise this stuff with around a whole bunch of very attractive women and a whole bunch of partying and a whole bunch of jewelry and a whole bunch of all kinds of mess as a selling tactic to get you to sell yourself into the industry, for you to buy their junk, to buy their crap, and you're being ripped off. That's the harsh truth. You, sir or madam, are being ripped off. That's just how it is. They tried this with me a while back, when I was younger. This whole psyop mess, but in regards to that, I bought into it a little bit, right? But I changed the whole thing to where I was using it against them. And I analyzed the different types of behavior as a result, just to get data to figure out what the hell was going on, because I knew something wasn't right. Things just didn't add up. And I was what, like 13 to 14 at the time? Yeah. So anyway, I did one test to where I actually dressed out in the whole ghetto fabulous fashion or whatever, just to just to see the responses I would get as a result. The responses that I got from that perspective was more favorable. I was not happy with the way I was dressing, but I needed to see exactly what the responses would be. People, I was in high school at the time this was going on. Now then, I'm in community college now, so I basically tried a different approach on people who are supposedly my peers, but at an older age. This time, I'm actually dressing more respective and not like a damn teenager, and not in a lot of stuff. This stuff, man, dude, a lot of this stuff is so backwards. A lot of it is. It really, a lot of this stuff is just so damn backwards. The language, the stuff that they started doing in regards to this, you can't help when you start to really see this outside of outside, and looking at the stuff from the outside in, looking in, just so you know what I'm getting at. Um, you couldn't help but to notice that a lot of the stuff that they do just doesn't seem right. You know, the words they use, the fact that the vocabulary is getting fucked up. I'm telling you, it's all nothing more than a damn program. They fixed it to where they started talking in a certain type of way, using words that don't mean the meaning that they're mean. For instance, they'll say something and they'll mean something entirely different from what they said. But when you hear it, and you know for a fact, like, what you'd be looking at them like, what the hell are you talking about? Right? That's a program. That is a damn program. They fixed this up to where you know, it basically creates a block on the learning. It even if the schools are filled with misinformations, you have you still have to use that information in order to get ahead in life. So let's just look at that for what it is, because of the way this whole thing is structured. But now, dude, I've gone way past, back from all the stuff I put up with. I've gone way past the point of being fed up. But anyway, I'm getting too far off the topic here. So anyway, when I did the second test, the responses that I got were in the negative, meaning they didn't like they were very aggressive towards me because of me being like that. This wouldn't be the only time I was dressed, just trying to just be just be myself too. Last time I tried just being myself, and I do mean I'm not even fucking with nobody. I'm just keeping to myself. I'm not talking. I'm not even dealing with anybody. Okay. This happened in elementary school, and out of nowhere, this guy, I don't know what the hell his problem was, but I think this whole damn thing was a freaking psyop. Now this happened in art class. He immediately threw a huge clump of wax. I don't know where the hell he got it from. I don't know, but he threw it. It got so bad that the teacher had to separate me from the students, dude. That's just how bad it got. And it wasn't all of them. It was just a group. It was a collective group of them that was causing problems. Dude, the stuff was so damn bad. Everything was going on in that damn school. Everything you can imagine, and it was just so damn stupid. I could never focus on my studies because of it, because there's always some arrogant asshole who just wanted to stir up some shit. I couldn't even try to just and it makes you wonder why that is. That mess was intentional. That crap that they did was intentional. It was nothing more than a program to prevent me from progressing, from getting my diploma. That's what that was. And I've seen how these gang stalkers do it too. They'll go up to their own damn kids saying, "Hey, look, I'll buy you a video game if you do this, this, and this, this, and this. I'll give you some cash if you do." It's just like the fucking creep from down the street offering to give the kids some damn candy. It's fucked up. And this is their damn parents. Their own fucking parents. It's unbelievable how corruptive this stuff is, man. Unbelievable. So anyway, the situation in the middle school, well, that crap carried over into the high school that I went to after that. Um, Again, more psyops, more stuff that's going on, and it just didn't. I couldn't figure out heads or tails like why people were it. I just couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't. You know. Um, I got enough results from the whole sagging bit or whatever, and I've never done it since. There were some people who were awake who knew that that was a bad thing. So it was one method to find out exactly who was not sunk into that narrative and who was. So when I started to become knowledgeable, I don't even think a lot of people knew exactly what I was doing at the time, and it wasn't until they realized that that stuff really started to get worse. This was a result of community college. Any school I went to, it was just the same damn stuff, dude. Every single time. Whenever I tried to get my GED, it was the same stuff. But this community college, it got way worse, way worse. Wasn't bothering any of these people. I just wanted to just do my work and then go home. That was it. Um, Out of nowhere, they just come up with, and I'm telling you that this whole thing got so bad that after two of the first teachers I had after they were gone, dude, I was doing wonderful. I was doing good. I still think that shit was a damn psyop too. They promoted my teachers who were actually causing me to learn. They promoted them to get them out of the picture, to bring these other teachers to completely, who were paid off agents to make sure I don't learn a damn thing. One of them probably was a legit teacher, but you want to know what these agents did? They fucked around so much that they scared that woman to damn near to death, and she quit the same day after about what, like maybe 4 or 5 days of working there. That's a damn psyop. People before the two main teachers had moved over to the main campus and to the from the side campus. What happened was there was a particular incident when someone immediately warned me about this too, and what she was telling me was these guys were planning on jumping me as I was about to leave the damn school. So she told the security officer about this, and I'm like, what the f? Like, what the hell's wrong with these guys? Like, exactly what the hell did I do to any of them? And it was again, a lot of this crap was just, it was all nothing more than a damn psyop. They even had the female put in place who just so happened to trying to play off the whole feeling crap or whatever. I knew what it was. My senses weren't lying. And anytime I sense something like that, I get a natural sense that is telling me to avoid this shit immediately. Just avoid it. And I don't get that sense from just about anybody. No. Mm-mm. So as a result, I didn't deal with that woman. I didn't deal with any of those people by that for that matter. And it got super weird there. I even got this weirdo. I'm not even, I'm not even gonna even talk about that. Nah. But it got so damn weird that it just screamed psyop. The whole damn thing just screamed psyop. Um, the whole situation got out of hand. I never, dude, I never did get my GED because of that crap. I never did. And at this point, I don't even give a damn about that. I really don't. I'm smart enough even without it, you know. And to find out that basically damn near all the information that's in there, in the schools and in the campuses, I'm like, damn. And I wasted that's time I wasted for that, and I could have used that time for something else. I mean, hell, I could have tried to get myself a business that didn't require a license or something in that time. I could actually use that time for something else. But people, I'm telling you, I would have when I did take that test, I passed every damn thing besides the math. Every fucking thing besides the math. And guess what? I was only like 2 or 3 points short from the required amount to pass that. That's how close I was. So I knew damn well I could have succeeded. But guess what? The psyop that they ran on that whole operation, they knew damn well I would have passed if they had not have fucked with me. Excuse me. The notes I made from math alone in algebra and all that stuff, it was so useful that the teacher actually started using that method herself. It's not that I could not have passed. It's just the fact that they prevented it from happening. And it was intentional. It was very damn well intentional. So, people, I hope you understand that they do run these operations on kids. They do this experimentation on kids. And I would never, ever, if you're a target individual, I would never, ever advise you to have your kid eat from the lunchroom at the damn school. Have them bring their own lunches or something like that, okay? And have it have a lock on it too. Don't ever send them eating from them damn cafeterias ever. Excuse me. I think I'm gonna end this video here. I hope this information helps out a lot of people, but that's just the stuff that I dealt with in the long run. The stuff that I figured out about, certain parts of society that are in place as a damn program. It's not a fashion statement. It's just a damn program to convert people into this crap that they want. As far as sexuality is concerned, because again, this also is heavily involved in that too. Excuse me. Look, I don't give a damn what a person is, what you choose to your sexual orientation to be. I believe that should be the choice of the individual. For me, well, I love women and I always have, and that will always be my particular interest, and it will never change. There is no room at all for anything different. I don't work that way. No, ever. Even with that said, I don't give a damn what anybody else chooses to do with that part of their life. I believe you have the freedom to choose that for yourself, whether that is something that is and truly against God or not. That's God's decision to make on that one, and you'll have to deal with that when you actually face God when that time comes. So I don't accept ownership. I don't respect. Basically, I don't accept responsibility over that because it had, that has something to do with both you and God, just as well as my choices in life have something to do with both me and God. Okay, so I hope people understand that the situation that we're, that we're in is that they're trying to, convert people, basically. They do this with the Sagan method. They brought that out of nowhere. Can basically covert it as a fashion statement when in reality it's signifying something else. Now, just so you know, I used certain methods to basically figure out what the hell was going on with the people. It was nothing more than a test. That's it. A socialized test, nothing more. Um, and as a result, the results were baffling that I got. People were more favorable towards the sagging bit, but once I ended that test and I went to the other test, and I was basically as an upstanding individual, I had my shirt tail tucked in and everything, right? People, there was a guy there that was at that same community college who started to basically actually try to better himself. I'll never forget the day I witnessed this ever. They verbally harassed this guy constantly. Not just one, but like 3 to 4 dudes bombarded him with insults until he untucked his shirt. That's when I came to the realization what this crap actually is. They want to assimilate people into the whole group of their dynamic. And when they catch somebody, who is not like that, who doesn't want absolutely nothing to do with them, they desperately seek to try to make an example out of that person, to prevent anybody else from daring pursue, their own self and their own ideals and stuff like that, basically being themselves. When I basically said, you know what, no, I ain't one of you, I'm basically living my life whether you like it or not. When I basically pulled that stunt, you best believe they didn't like any bit of that. Did I care? No. Um, but yeah, man, don't ever sag, dude. Don't. If you view yourself as a straight man, don't ever sag, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, for people who don't know what that is, um, the whole slang language is a psyop to basically, um, they use this for, again, they use the phones, dude. They use the phones to gather information. So what do you think they're doing when they basically they're using the human population as a huge entertainment channel station? That's what I believe. And they do it through the technology of these phones and through a lot of this technology. Now then, what happened? What did they do with social media when the lockdown happened? Oh, that's right. Two things happened that a lot of people may not be aware of, but quite a lot of people are, but just not in the perspective of what it was done for. There was an app that was, designed for people to be in contact with their neighbors through video chat. TikTok skyrocketed like crazy too. I've never used the damn thing, and I never used the neighbor app. Also, you want to know what this was for? It was for the entertainment of the people who are using the population as a source of entertainment itself. They're using your life as a damn TV station. Okay? That's the reality of it. Now that I think about it, they actually have a freaking supervillain in the X-Men who actually does this. I can't recall his name, but there's an actual supervillain in the X-Men that actually does this, and he does this crap on the planet. He actually captures them and has them in prison, and and they have to just constantly live out these scenarios and that he plans for them, and a lot of everything is basically life threatening that he has them have to go through every day to survive. They don't get nowhere near closer to getting out, and it's just basically survive to the next day, survive to the next day, just repeatedly, you know. And if they refuse to play the game, well, they die. It's quite crazy, isn't it? It really is. But you know something? Breaking out of the I don't care what type of threats they give me. Breaking out of the matrix is worth it. I will break out of it and I will get unplugged. I'll damn certain get unplugged from this damn grid for good. Um, what else? Okay, so I already talked about the slang language. I already talked about the sagging. I already talked about the whole color thing too. I guess that about covers everything. I don't really have much more that I wanted to say. I just felt the need to at least mention that for people who didn't know. So just so they do know, right? Um, but yeah, man, that's the stuff I had to deal with in the schools. It wasn't a good thing to deal with, but that's just how it is. I don't recommend anybody, not even just TIs, to anybody to send their kids to them damn schools. You know, considering what they got going on right now, when they send there implementing stuff to where they can just take your kids away and not even tell you, not even have to tell you where they took them to, and the only time they can ever leave is based off their decision to do so, whether to release them or not. Oh, despite all this stuff, people, please take some time off. Take some time off. Do something positive. Watch something positive. Just take a break, please, because that's what I'm about to do. You know, I may do something to probably occupy my time, even if it's work related. But I'm not gonna allow this to just consume my entire day. No, absolutely not. I'm gonna continue to shield myself and block these bastard frequencies from programming me as much as I can. But I'm gonna try to enjoy a little bit of life that I got left. You know, and I hope you all do the same, or at least try to make the effort to do so. Don't ever let this mess consume your life. Don't, because that's what they try to do. They always try to claim ownership with all of these tactics that they use and all of the stuff that's going on. Stand your ground. Put your foot down and say enough is enough. I will not stand for this. With that said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Hope everything's going well for all of you, minus the as always, minus the targeting. Stay safe, stay strong.